GM, GM, we are live. Apologies, we're a minute late. I am Mark Tardy on the attendance sheet, but good morning. Good morning, everybody. Appreciate you all coming in. The trade deadline has come and gone. A few big moves, definitely a few big moves happened, a couple of which will be fantasy relevant for this week. A couple of which may already result in some swaps for people. I guess the place to begin with that would be the Rashid Shaheed trade, moving him to Seattle. I think that's pretty exciting for all parties concerned. Let me roll through chat, and then we'll hop right into things. But hey, Chris, GM Candle's excited to be. Hey, appreciate you so much. Glad to hear that the haircut was a success. I didn't expect anything less. But hey, Chris, as always, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out. Joel, GM to you. Good morning, Mr. Worth. Appreciate you. GM says go AZ Cards. Crazy to think the Dog Bowl is in 1 month and only 3 lefts. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. It is crazy, right? This is week 10. So by the end of it, 30. Yes, 10 times 3 is 30. Yeah, so I suppose you're right. Only 3 weeks left. So see if we can't chase down another seat, but otherwise it is crazy how fast that's coming up. Chris, hey Chris, I enjoy watching Liam's stuff. Liam's a good dude. He's very I really do like a lot of Liam's takes. But I appreciate you so much, Chris. GM, everyone missed today, but watched on replay, and that's all we can ask for, Stephen. Hey, thanks so much for catching up on the replay. And that's why we're doing the thumbnails, which reminds me, I should start getting those set up as we go. So give me 1 second, and I can make sure we get that underway. Intro and PR1. All right, sweet. Hey, Jake, appreciate you so much. Good morning. Jake, thank you again for coming by and hanging out this fine morning. Mike says, so when do we start getting collabs with you and others? You're still not too good to have the masses know you. Hey, appreciate you, Mike. I am happy to appear. Anyone which will have me, I will show up. I will show up there. Let me see one thing real quick. Let me see. Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I'm definitely open to the collaboration idea for sure. All right, let's see. Chris GM to you. Appreciate you. Had fun drafting with you. I saw you in the Dog Bowl streets this morning already. I like the team you came up with. Chris says, I like Liam's drafting because he's contrarian. Yeah, you know what? It's funny. I don't mind the recap stuff. I think those can be helpful, especially when they go game by game. It really depends. If you're not able to watch all the games, then I think it's very useful. If it's like, what you've seen, then I certainly understand that. But yeah, it's tough to go out there and make player takes, especially when you're someone like Liam, because people will jump down your throat the minute you're wrong. And the credit to blame ratio is way off. Like, everyone will remember the bad calls, but anyway, it is tough. You put yourself out there, especially when you're a little bit of a lightning rod. So I like the contrarian takes, because if all the popular takes were right, then this game would be a lot easier than it is. It would be way easier. But yeah, we had the Shaheed trade. I think this is pretty exciting. I think this is a good spot. He, Kubiak famously unlocked him in some of the bigger Shaheed seasons and plays that we've seen from him before. So he gets his guy back. I think this is good. You can't roster him in Underdog. He will not count towards this week. I believe players that get traded don't count. So I have him in a couple Dog Bowl teams, or at least one. Those will get swapped. I think it's too early to fully know the swaps, just because we don't have any injury reports. Stuff usually opens up. There'll be 1 or 2 players that were not on the radar. So we will see. There. I think it's probably bad news for Cooper Kupp, which is unfortunate. I have a lot of Kupp. I imagine that this suggests that his injury might be longer term. B, I think any kind of target competition is not necessarily the best for who's now going to be third by Banana behind JSN, who already was commanding a massive amount of targets. So 2 reasons it's bad for Kupp. But the injury stuff, I think, is more of a concern. I wonder if they would have stayed pat if Kupp was healthy, but it could be that Shaheed was such a talent, and Kubiak kind of knows how to unlock him. Torrey Horton, another negative, kind of stinks. He was starting to break out. I don't think he goes to 0, but he definitely loses some fantasy relevant. I think he'll be a lot harder to start in redraft than he was. I think he turns into a punt play, like DFS type flyer or show relegated to showdown. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe that's wrong, but I don't know if I don't know with what a target hog again that JSN is, that he's that he really has much hope of being someone we can rely on week in, week out. So we'll see there. I think those are the big ones, at least as far as the Seattle side. Go Easy Cards. Remember the DBQ draft where I left to Chicago's RB2? I took the Q tag roll of the dice. I have not taken any Swift, so I'm assuming you let me take Monungai because I've just passed on Swift. I'm playing it like A, Swift is out, and B, Monungai is going to be the lead back. And I don't think it's going to be a Dowdle Hubbard situation, but I think it's going to be more 60-40. We know Swift is not good at the goal line, so I think Monungai is going to get more carries, and I think he's going to get the more valuable touches. So I don't know. That's where I've been playing that. It's obviously I've been taking Monungai too early if it is a full split, but I think the chance that it's not, we're talking about a guy that's going to be a first round pick. Yeah, Chris, I don't think he goes to stone 0, but it's not what we hope. It's not what we hope. So Shaheed draftable? Is he an auto 0 swap? I've heard he's a swap. I'm like 98% sure. Don't draft him though, because I think if you draft him now, you don't get the swap because he probably is marked out. But if you already took him, you'll get a swap there. Fanspeak, let's get those likes up. My 5 burners. Hey, appreciate you, Fanspeak. Fanspeak Network, absolutely give them a follow if you don't. Great content there and really support the channel. Hey, Brian the Goober, GM to you. A big on Chicago against your Giants. Yeah, I take a lot of Bears. I've been playing it both sides. I've only taken Monungai, but I certainly understand the Swift people. I don't think that's a bad click. I don't think Swift goes to 0, but I'm just playing the potential upside of having the entire backfield again. But I'm back on Rome. I'm back on Caleb. I'm back on Loveland. Taking all those guys. I think you can take DJ Moore in dog bowls. You probably take him in the 6 persons too. He's going to be very, very low owned, and he was the wide receiver you needed more than Rome was last week. Is always live to get a carry or 2. That he's they have deployed him as such. They didn't use him quite as much as I think some of us thought they would with Swift out. But they will line him up in the backfield and get him the ball. So I agree though, Brian. I do like the Giants, but I am this week I got a lot of shares of Chicago already. Chris, that's also, by the way, y'all should give follow Brian the Goober. He's on G for Gumby's channel. They are a fantastic show that they do together. Whether that's tonight or tomorrow night, you should absolutely follow G for Gumby. That's the way to do it, Cards. Are you rolling the dice early? Yeah, I agree. If you draft him now, it's a 0. I think that's the idea of doing some of these early drafts, is taking those risks. I'll hop in a BR. We can chat about the other side of the trade, which I think is, I'll say a hot take. All right, Brian will be on tomorrow. Awesome. We'll make sure to tune into that on G for Gumby's channel. They're later in the evening, so they're kind of how I end my day when they're on. All right, we're off and running. We're at the 1, and I will take CMC. I think for me, on the New Orleans side, I'm really into Juwan Johnson. We saw that Shaheed actually was getting more targets from Tyler Shuck than was Olave. Now with Shaheed's departure, that's going to open up quite a few targets. I think they're one of those teams, I think they want to see what they have in Shuck, so they're just going to kind of let him do his thing. He's going to throw a lot of interceptions. He's probably not going to be very good, but I don't think they're going to like chain up the offense. So we've seen Tyler Johnson like be something previously. And I think we've seen him successful in kind of like a bit of a downfield, of a more of a downfield role. So I don't know. I'm pretty into Juwan Johnson as a big beneficiary. I think he's someone that if got dropped in your redraft league, I would be interested in picking them up. There's been a lot of tight ends that have kind of cropped up throughout the season. So if someone dropped him, he probably was drafted, I would say, in most leagues. But if he's out there, I think he's worth an ad if you're looking for a tight end there. So I think to me that's interesting. Obviously, we could see more targets flow to Olave. That's somewhat obvious. The secondary pieces are pretty gross. Maybe it opens up something for Vele, who they traded for. Other than that, it's like 74-year-old Cooks and his like ankle made of paper mache. I don't know. I'm really playing it that way. The running back situation is grim. Devin Neal has started to eat into more of Kamara's workload. Kamara did not look very good. I thought he could potentially move as well. So we'll see there. Darkside Dev asks, you like Judkins this week? Yes. Yep, I like Judkins this week. I hope he's playing. I assume he is. It seemed like he was close-ish last week. I thought I can't remember exactly how it hammered out, but with the bye week, I have to think he's going to be back. So I'm pretty into Judkins now with the Jets trading away their good defense, and now they're going to have a terrible defense. Hey, GM Jordan, appreciate you so much for coming in, hanging out. Brian says, I also think Bucky misses this week, which would make free Rashad White. Yeah, I do too. And it's funny because I haven't taken Bucky yet. I think there were like 2 drafts where I was like, I'll take Bucky late, and then he went. His ADP is pretty much free. I agree there. The only thing is they worked in Tucker and gosh, who's the other guy? They have a third running back that was like weirdly getting carries. So I thought Rashad White was going to get more of the workload. It turned into some kind of split. I can't remember what the exact game flow was, why that ended up happening. But let me see if I can. Oh, I'm not signed in. I'm trying to do too many things at once here. But yeah, I agree though. I think he's worth a flyer. He's not a guy that I'm not taking. It was Josh Williams. Oh no, he didn't. What am I talking about? I'm thinking of somebody else. Okay, so it was just Rashad White and Tucker. All right, we're on the clock. We got CMC. Do we want an elite quarterback? I guess we could do Josh Allen. And speaking of Tampa, we can do Egbuka. I think that's fine. I mean, you know what? Let's forgo the elite quarterbacks. No, we'll do Egbuka. We'll do Egbuka Lamar. That's fine. But yeah, I'm with you on the Rashad White being potentially a good click. Steven, how about Olave? You think he's a good pick? Yes, I've been taking some Olave this week. I love how PPR Tyler. I love how consistent your streaming schedule is. As soon as I sit down at my desk, I know you're going to be live. Absolutely, PPR Tyler. Thank you so much. PPR Tyler. Again, the Toxic Tower on tonight. You should absolutely give that a watch. It is must-see streaming. PPR Tyler, Best Ball Guy, and Emo Cowboy. They put on a show for the people. So appreciate that so much. Darkside Dev. Yeah, Judkins and Etienne feel great at price. Yep. I like Judkins more than Etienne, but we did just see Etienne get a massive workload. So, we all thought coming out of the bye, Tootin might get more, and then he kind of didn't. So that was a little bit unfortunate, but yeah, that's the way she goes. Yeah, sure miss those constant PPR Tyler streams. Those were the days. Yeah, PPR Tyler broke the streaming record famously for consecutive days streamed. Huge in the best ball streets. So we do look forward to those, but as it is Tyler's off season, and it is a well-deserved off season. Our football season is I've been thinking about firing up the streams again, says PPR Tyler. Well, we would all tune in. We would absolutely all tune into that if you could do that. So appreciate you so much for doing that. If you can get back in the streaming streets, we need PPR Tyler because it's a tough part of the year. I mean, it's people start fading out a bit. The deposit button looms larger. It's tough. I mean, it is very tough, especially if you're playing mostly GPPs. It can be kind of a grind. So, and I certainly understand that. But yeah, would love to get this with the PPR Tower streams back. Ramsey Perry, GM Chad, new to the channel, love the show, really good vibe. Hey, Ramsey Perry, that means a ton. Thanks so much for coming in and hanging out. I'm glad you found us here. Welcome. Thanks so much for coming in. We got Lamar, CMC, and Egbuka. I mean, who am I to pass on Zay Flowers here? And you know what? We're going to talk about. Someone asked, do I think Judkins is a good pick? And then I'm going to fade them. That doesn't seem like I'm being honest with you all. I do like Manungai. I would potentially be interested in him there. I could see Judkins rising throughout the week, though. When this Q tag goes away, assuming he's in, it could be a little bit harder to get him in the 4th/5th. So we'll see, especially as people just realize, like we noted, that the Jets defense is going to be significantly worse. So we'll get Judkins here. We'll end this team with a tight end, see how she goes. But so far we've got CMC, Egbuka, Lamar Jackson, Zay Flowers, and Quinshawn Judkins. We got Mr. Worth in here. He's got Gibbs, Henry, Josh Allen, Odunze, and Waddle. So his team makes sense. Darkside Dip, fired up, broski. The streets are waiting. Yeah, talking to PPR Tyler. Absolutely. We absolutely need that. All right, let's see. So the other trade on the offensive side of the ball that we care about was the Jakobi Meyers getting dealt to Jacksonville. That is not on the main slate. Neither side of that is there. So we don't have to worry about that impact for this week. I do think Jakobi Meyers showing up in Jacksonville sends our Diami Brown bags hurtling towards 0 in all likelihood. Not great. I have a lot of Diami Brown. He got concussed, so he's been out, I think, for the last couple games. Parker Washington had emerged as something. I don't know if Parker Washington fully goes to 0. It does seem like they were utilizing him all over the field, not just the slot, where I'm imagining Jakobi Meyers is kind of going to pop in there. BTJ is suffering some form of ankle injury. We don't know the full severity of that, and Travis Hunter may or may not miss the rest of the season. So there's a lot of moving pieces there. Jakobi Meyers obviously is going to be happier. He had demanded a trade, wanted out of Las Vegas. So I think there's still a bunch of unanswered questions. For me, my last thing here, I do think I want Loveland over Juwan Johnson. I like Juwan Johnson a lot, but I think if Kmet is out again, which I imagine with the concussion he will be, I'll take Loveland, even though we're not scrolling. So no real scrolls this team. Lamar Jackson, CMC, Judkins, Egbuka, Flowers, and Loveland. But I do like the team quite a bit. I think this is kind of a nice team. We took what the room gave us. J-Dubs, he ended his team with Mark Andrews. I think that makes sense there. So I like the team that J-Dubs put together. So we will see. Chris noting, Ramsey, tell your friends and neighbors Chad's here every morning dropping the alpha. Oh, I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best here. But yes, if you can tell your friends, hit the like, hit the sub. That absolutely helps. That absolutely helps get us. We are on we are on the road to 300 subs, hopefully on the road to 500 eventually, but we will get there. We will get there. Hey, Lutz, GM to you. Appreciate you so much. Betch bags have value now. Let me see what the dog bowl's at first, because sometimes waiting for 7. All right, I'll hop in another BR. I'll hop in another. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna hop in a Wildcat. I think people. I want people to be able to draft. This is waiting for 4. These are $3 drafts, so if you these are not too bad. Let me get the timestamp updated here. my producer's off today. I don't actually have a producer. All right, 20 minutes. Wildcat 1. All right. Yeah, I would love the Betch bags to have value now. I guess the issue that I am having is they use Tyler Lockett like immediately. Like I was not expecting Tyler Lockett to be like a thing. I was like, oh, they have 2 rookies that they're theoretically excited about, and then Tyler Lockett came in and was playing. So I don't know. That does concern me ever so slightly that we could be dealing with like Pete Carroll nonsense. Now, rational coaching says you literally drafted Betch as Jakobi Meyers' replacement. So Betch has to slot in there, right? But if he didn't, I wouldn't be like stunned. So that's a long way of saying, Chris, I hope so, but I just wouldn't be surprised because I don't trust this coaching staff to do the right thing. Lamar falls in most of my drafts. It blows my mind, says Darkside Dev. Where to? Because the ADPs are weird. He started out in the first round because he's come over from the playbook, which have weird ADPs. I have a hard time not taking him around pick 12, and I definitely would take him in the middle of the third if I wasn't the one hole. So I agree there. IMO Parker Washington is good. I think he will remain in 2 wide receiver sets. Yeah. I think it's all injury dependent, right? Gunnar Ross, like, I don't know. They have shown, again, Jakobi Meyers can play on the outside. I don't think that's like where he's necessarily best. I do think the team likes what they have in Parker Washington, so you could be right. The other issue that I didn't mention before is that we have Trevor Lawrence risk. Like, how many wide receivers can he support? It doesn't. He's like, he might just be pretty bad. So I don't know. It all of a sudden, like when everyone's in, it's going to be pretty crowded. So I don't know. But yeah, I wouldn't like cut Parker Washington. I'd want to see one more week and see what they do. Chris, not big on sharing my alpha, but that's what friends are for. Well, hey Ramsey, thank you so much. If you can share, that would be great. But you'll see. Stick around. See if you do find that elusive alpha. We're doing our best here. Jordan says I'd probably rather swap to Lockett than Betch in the most recent PTP that started Monday. Oh, yeah. I was thinking for dog bowls because he's not on that slate, or for the BR. But yeah, I guess if you've done primetime paloozas, that would matter. The good news is you don't have to decide for a bit, right? What is no, they're playing Thursday. The Raiders are playing there. It's Raiders Denver, right? So yeah, that is, I guess, a little bit of a question. I'd have to think about that. I want to say it's Betch, but again, that might be more of like a week 15 and on kind of thing. Just because we really do appear to be dealing with some goofiness from Carroll. All right, so we've got Baby J, aka Jordan. He's at the 1. We got JT Vinegar here at the 2, and myself at the 3. I took Rico Dowdle. I kind of like Rico Dowdle over Puka this week, but I certainly understand if you if you want to just draft them in order. There's nothing wrong with that either. I'm just very high on Dowdle against these Saints, who we don't know what we're going to get out of them, having traded away Shaheed. Sometimes teams start trading away their good players and they kind of implode. Other times, everybody that's left, they kind of rally together. We'll see what we get. But I do think Dowdle has shown himself very capable. He took over the backfield, and I'm okay picking on the Saints a little bit. That said, their run defense has been somewhat stingy. So again, maybe I should just be taking Dowdle at ADP, and passing Puka can look very foolish sometimes. All right, let's see. Darkside Dev, if you have a top 3 pick, you can for sure get Lamar in the 3rd sometimes. Yeah, definitely can. And I'm sure one of these drafts we're doing, we'll see that. And here, though, we see Lamar go at 9, Allen go at 10. So Yep. There's, I guess, a reason why his ADP is here, because people do take him here, but they will fall. Chris says, Dowdle over Puka. Who could have seen that coming during best ball summer? Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know if it's that good here, to be honest with you. I certainly see the case that it's sort of a big 5 with Dowdle as kind of in the next tier. But I don't know. I'm just pretty into Dowdle. I kind of wanted to do some later wide receivers, or one later wide receiver scroll in this draft. All right, let's see what's coming around to us. Derrick Henry goes. Kyron's not terrible. I think I want one of these elite tight ends. I think if I'm playing this as though Purdy's back, so I'll take George Kittle here. So now we've got Dowdle, Amon-Ra, and Kittle. And let's see how we want to end this team. All right, let's see. Like Rob Lockett spent years with Carroll, and how little he seems to trust Betch and Thornton. Lockett seems like someone who will play whether or not it's best, just due to comfortability. Yep. Yeah, I had forgotten the Carroll Lockett connection, but that definitely seems to be playing into it, because we saw Lockett last year looked like he had turned to complete and utter dust. I'll take Rome Odunze. Like the bounce back possibility. I like that Caleb is not in the top 6 quarterback, so he's not going to be drafted every time. And I guess instead of doing a scroll wide receiver, we'll do a scroll running back. But we'll probably do Caleb in a running back to end this team. Yeah, I agree, Jordan. That is a good shout, Mike. Yeah, and it's unfortunate because we all want to see the rookie. I have gigantic Jack Betch bags, especially on the big board. Like, I think I have like 45% Betch in the big board, something stupid. And I was so excited when he got the like good draft capital and seemingly a good landing spot. And I can't remember if he was inactive last week or if he just didn't run a single route. But I don't think he scored any fantasy points last week. Gunnar Ross, did you stream in the morning for Best Ball Summer? Yes, I did. In some of my streams in the summer, I would get like 3 views. They're there. They're all there. They're old and they're terrible, and I didn't have a camera for a lot of it, but I did. Very early, I wasn't always consistent with when I streamed though. Breece Hall's not a bad click. All right, I'm just gonna take my quarterback. I don't want C-Wade to take him. I don't know why he would. I guess he has Monunga. He's probably going to take... I hope he takes Stafford, dear Lord. That would be kind of weird if he didn't. He does take Stafford. All right, what do we want to do at running back? Here's a guy that I'm taking in dog bowls that's going undrafted here that I don't think is right. All right, I don't understand why Travion Henderson, nobody wants him. Now, I get it. If Ramondre's back, it's not good. But I think toe has the biggest delta between like how serious people think an injury is and how serious it is. If he actually has turf toe, there's a good chance he's out another couple weeks. So I think Ramondre could be out. I also feel like everyone saw Terrell Jennings steal the goal line touchdown and is like, oh, it's a split backfield, but it's really not. It's really not. Henderson was the primary. And I like him if nobody's going to draft him. I know Tampa Bay can be stout against the run as well, but we've also seen them, give up the big play. They do like to, Henderson has pass catching chops. I think he's fine to, take it outside. So anyway, I like Henderson this week, and nobody is into that. So I'll take a flyer on him in some drafts because I think he's going to be super, super low owned there. Let's see what Baby J did. CMC, A-Chain, Igbuka, Diggs, May, Henry. So he gets the Drake May double with the Igbuka bring back. I mean, you literally can't construct a more like a team in a lab here. Like this is ticking all the boxes. So like what Baby J did here. JT Vinegar, what'd he do? Gibbs, McBride, Jefferson, Judkins, Olave, Dart. I think this is more than fine. Dart. I think we've learned you can take almost any quarterback unstacked in these. I think that's like the secret's out. You stacking we've seen unstacked QB get home more than one instance. I like all the players you drafted on this team, so nice job there. Nice job there. All right, let's see what the dog bowl's at. Hopefully it's close and we can wait. Waiting for 5. All right, I'll hang out a second. I'll catch back up with chat. DBQ1. All right, here we go. All the summer whisper drafts. Yeah, we had some audio issues. I streamed some BRs last year, and I think my second or third stream, I didn't add myself to the stage, and I streamed for an hour and 45 minutes just silent, and I didn't know I was talking the whole time. And I listened back, and it was like a silent film. So we've come a long way. We've definitely come a long way. Chris says consistency is key. I know it can be at my desk sipping my third coffee and watch this stream. That's golden for a creature of habit. Hey, I like that. I like to hear that. And I'm glad I can be that for the people there. And it is definitely fun to do these morning drafts. Third cup of coffee though. It's aggressive. That is aggressive. We're waiting for 3 in a dog bowl, by the way, if anyone wants to come in. Turf toe could be Ross thing. Yeah, a la Brock Purdy. Yeah, it's a serious injury. They just gave it a goofy name, so we all think like, oh, it's just turf toe. It's like the medical name for it seems a lot worse, and you get all of your explosion off of your feet and your toe, and if you don't have that, you can't play football. Like, it's terrible. So I don't know. If Ramondre's back, then yes, taking Travion Henderson in a 6-person is probably bad. It's probably also bad on the 12-persons, just because it seems like Vrabel trusts Ramondre, and so now you're just like praying for a 60-yard touchdown on one of his 10 carries, and that's not like a great way to play these contests. But I don't know why his ADP in the dog bowl is 62. I don't get it. I think that's way too late, and it's been that way for days. So I'll keep taking him there. It could be bad. Jake says, trying to get my Olave bags up before he rises. Yeah, I could see him coming up for sure. I definitely could see him. So I think that makes a ton of sense, especially in the 12-persons. I think in the 6-persons, you might be safe-ish, only because there's a lot of elite receiver, and I think he's just naturally going to like bump up into that. And then with the last 2 picks, there's so many people taking quarterback and tight end. It's like, it kind of doesn't matter if someone moves from like the 6th to the 4th. Like, it matters, but like not that much in BRs. But yeah, I do like Olave this week. Oh, up for 4 hours. Oh my gosh. My kid slept in, so I've only been up for about 3 now. So that is good to hear. Third cup, yeah, 4 hours. You're pacing at a little less than a cup an hour, so you're doing good. Fantasy Football Garage, GM to you. Hey, appreciate you so much for coming in, hanging out. Fantasy Football Garage. Ramsey says, if you ever stub your toe walking like a duck the rest of the day, no way you're running from angry defense. No, you're not even running from like happy defenders. you're just done. Yeah, and we saw that it hobbled Brock Purdy, who's a quarterback. Now again, it's quarterback. They got to get all their, when you throw a ball, you plant your foot. So it's not like you don't need your feet, but he's also not like asked to run from angry defenders as much. So I don't know, and it sidelined him for multiple weeks. So I don't know. I am bearish on Ramondre's return. We don't have a ton of information, but we'll see. FK Coolers, how are you treating the Bears running back situation for this week? I am right now on Wednesday morning before the practice reports come out. I am taking all the Monungai. If Swift is back, then I'm going to let the ADP settle. Right now in dog bowls, Monungai is at 26 and Swift is at 27. So the market doesn't know what to do. I think if Swift is in, you probably see Monungai fall a little bit. They probably both come down a shade. I don't know. People want to play this matchup against the Giants. So I'm not sure. I guess we're kind of at the line, right? Like, would I rather have Monungai knowing he's in a split, or Montgomery, who we know is in a split, and then down to like Etienne in a tough matchup? I will not click Ken Walker at pick 36. I just can't do it. Not with Charbonnet taking all the valuable touches. Tyrone Tracy was getting outsnapped by Singletary. Like it drops off a cliff, so maybe Monungai doesn't even fall that much. But if Swift is out again, then Monungai, I think, moves into the 1-2 turn. So I don't know. And I agree, Jordan. They don't put him away completely. Goal line touches. Yeah, I'm with you. So maybe I'm just gonna keep taking Monungai. I think that's where I want to be on that one. We're still waiting for one in the dog bowl. Let me see if we can't send up the bet DBQ. See if we can't get some people in here. Brian says, I'm not a KW9 guy either, but the matchup sets up well for explosive runners, and Gunnar Ross agrees. That's fair. I mean, maybe I should be more open to that. I think my issue, and again, I probably shouldn't say this when probably a bunch of people in this room are drafting with me, is I tend to, if I miss on Monungai, then I wait till like Travion, who I said I like, or Rashad White. Like and then if I'll take one of the other positions instead of Ken Walker. And maybe that's wrong, and I should be mixing Ken Walker into those builds, but just that's kind of how I've been playing it so far. But we'll see. Again, it's only Wednesday. We're going to get a lot more information as the week goes on. But again, this is why I do these things, so I get, so that we can talk about them and come up with other ideas I haven't thought of, because I don't want to get take locked on where I am, like, Monday and Tuesday and just roll that the whole week. That's not a great way to do things. My one take lock is I'm just taking James Cook every time he's at the top of my rankings. I like him more than Gibbs this week. We've seen James Cook. I think, didn't he get 3 touchdowns against Miami last year? Miami's defense is even worse this year. They just traded away Phillips. Like I have Cooks at the 1.2, and I'll stop short of saying that I would take him over McCaffrey, because I think that's foolish. But I don't know, man. If I had a single bullet and I had the 1.1, I really might even just take Cook there. Something I'm multi-entering. I don't want no McCaffrey, but I'm gonna take Cook at the 2. So yeah, Brian congratulating Gunnar Ross there. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Gunnar Ross qualified for the Dog Bowl last week. Huge congrats again to you, Gunnar Ross. Can't not draft the upside on Ken Walker. Yeah. I mean, when you're in that range of running back, I guess it does make sense. And maybe that's somebody I can consider more. I don't think his ADP is going to line up on this team. Yeah, 36. So yeah, for me, he's going to be very tough for me to get to on the left side of the board. And again, this is something in dog bowls. If you have CMC, or you have Cook, or you have Gibbs, I don't think there's anything wrong. If you're a Ken Walker guy, just take him at 26, 27, because he's not going to come back to you. And if the 2 highest scoring running backs on the week are Gibbs and Walker, you'll be the only one who has them paired. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I think we do adhere to ADP too much, but just a reminder to, like, especially in the 12 persons where you don't get ADP value. Like, I don't think Ken Walker is going to slip to 47, so it's just something to bear in mind, that you should be confident in your takes when you do these, because it's very hard to win these by going strictly by ADP. You do have to make some stands and make some decisions and take risks. So appreciate you, Gunnar Ross there. All right, so let's see. We got a really tough room here, by the way. Cut Cutler at the 1, myself at the 2, Tubins at the 3, Patrick Barnes YouTube at the 4, Gunnar Ross at the 6, Mr. Worth at the 8, Go AZ Cards at the 9. I forget who Len Keith is. I feel like did they qualify? I can't remember. Crutches, who also qualified last week along with Gunnar Ross, very sharp drafter at the 11, and Chad Matchkey, who qualified the week before last at the 12, who now has qualified for all 3 years of the Dog Bowl. Again, one of the best drafters on this entire website. So tough room. Take notes. If you don't learn from me, learn from everybody else. I will say that, because these other players are extremely, extremely sharp. Let's see what the room is doing. So Lamar Jackson, first quarterback off the board, goes to Jefferson. I think you'll see this a lot. This is a game stack, the Jefferson Lamar draft. He is, you'll see these guys paired a lot. I think that's fine. Again, when I say someone's paired a lot, don't automatically assume it means it's bad or you shouldn't do it. It's just like, be aware that if you do it, consider getting different elsewhere. You don't have to get crazy in dog bowls, because it's not like the main VR where there's so many drafts. But just be cognizant of it. Brian says the other person who's a gross click but can't get to but will project well is Debo. Yeah, I haven't clicked any Debo yet, but I agree. The other nice thing about Debo is Mariota's free, and I kind of like Mariota. He's got a little bit of rushing upside. So again, another person. I think that's also a kind of a sharp 6-person click. If people aren't getting to it, no one's going to be clicking Mariota in the 6 persons. I think there's worse things you can do. McLaurin is out this week. Was it Luke McCaffrey out for the season? Excuse me. I think McCaffrey got hurt. I don't think that impacts him that much, but just of note, you sometimes these minor things can lead to 1 or 2 additional targets flowing elsewhere, or just shake things up ever so slightly. And Debo can turn a 1 yard to 1 target into like a 70-yard touchdown. We've seen it before. So I probably should be a little more into that. Where's Debo's ADP? I'm like around 40. So makes sense there. All right, so we've got James Cook. Could potentially do the Waddle game stack. Breece Hall is also the last man standing. I could take my millionth share of Kyle Monungai, as we noted. I'm going to take Monungai. Again, Cutler, he may not come back to me. We'll be done at running back here. I don't necessarily love Waddle and Cook, because I think a true Cook blow up, the Dolphins just show no signs of life. I don't need Miami to be doing anything for Cook, and I think that might be a pairing people naturally go to. So I'm a little less into that. I think I'm more into Garrett Wilson or Chris Olave here. Let's see what Cutler does. He takes Dart and Tracy, so he builds an instant Dart Tracy running back quarterback stack. I have a lot of Garrett Wilson. I actually think I have a few Cook, Monungai, Wilson teams. So maybe that pushes me towards Olave. I just can't get out off of Garrett Wilson. I honestly think he is way too cheap here. So I will pass on the Olave. Maybe I'll live to regret that, because again, we could see Olave rise, although I don't see him going ahead of any of these other receivers. So maybe this kind of is his ceiling around where he is already. I've seen Garrett Wilson fall all the way to the right side of the board. People are concerned, I guess, about just the quarterback play and the general state of the Jets, what they have going on there. It's also a little annoying. We don't know who the quarterback is, whether it's Fields or Tyrod Taylor. So it's a little bit squirrely, but I think regardless, Garrett Wilson really is kind of the only game in town. We've seen him get hyper targeted by both quarterbacks. I don't know. I do like Garrett Wilson. I'm willing to buy that, even if the Jets are kind of circling the drain. All right, let's see what other people did. So we did see Cutler. He did the Dart Tracy thing. I think that makes sense. Patrick Barnes YouTube. All right, so Ken Walker at pick 28. There we go. We Brian highlighted him, and Patrick Barnes took heed. That is earlier than ADP, but there he goes. Let's see, Gunnar Ross, JSN, Flowers, and Brees Hall. Makes sense. J-Dubs with the Amon-Ra, Josh Allen, and is now on the clock. Yeah, he's out for the season. That's a shame. Because we were all drafting him. I say we all. I'm just assuming everyone drafted as poorly as I did last year. I had a lot of Luke McCaffrey last season going for Nepo baby summer, and that didn't pan out. But it was nice to see he was kind of emerging as a somewhat useful player over there. But yeah, out for the season. Big bummer. Big bummer to see that. So J-Dubs, he builds a Josh Allen, Dalton Kincaid stack. Tight end is weird. After this, it's really it's Laporta, and then Laporta already went. So Laporta went, and then it's kind of a choose your own adventure. I mean, my favorite among these is Loveland. I do not think he's going to make it back to me. Just the way these go, especially Komet had a concussion, and then after that, it's like a bunch of options. You have to like give a long explanation of why you think they're going to be good. It's pretty grim. It's pretty grim at tight end after this kind of big four, at least in my opinion. Ramsey asks, is Garrett Wilson more of a 12-man play versus 6-man? I take him in the 6-mans also. I think he's perfectly live to get there. So I don't know. I don't mind it. I mean, it's a tough matchup, and the Jets again are very bad, but I think his target volume could be really high again. And he's been injured for a while, so I think he's kind of forgotten about. But I mean, I wouldn't like if you don't like the play, I wouldn't like go crazy in the 6 persons. But I'm not like afraid to draft him, and I would not be afraid to like when we find out the quarterback, if it's Fields, like pair him with Fields. I might even, I mean, you can take Fields and knees if Fields doesn't play a snap. I believe this was a big thing last week because it's almost happened with Purdy, but Purdy ended up being inactive. My understanding of the rule is that if the player does not play a snap, then you get the swap. And so the Jets are a 1 p.m. game, so it would turn into somebody in the late slate, assuming the Jets game ends before whatever game that is starts. So in the ideal world, if you do draft Fields and he doesn't play, you get somebody, which makes him somewhat draftable, but it's also a risk tolerance thing. It's also the chance that Tyrod Taylor's a starter and they say, oh, we've got 4 plays for Justin Fields, and they bring him in, and then you just lose. That could happen too. But again, you know, it's a risk tolerance thing. If you're willing to risk a draft being a total 0 and being dead, then that's fine. If that's not in your risk tolerance, then I would not be taking Justin Fields right now. Me personally, I'm willing to say this draft is dead. I mean, maybe not this particular draft. We'll see if this is a Fields team or not. But again, that's something it's just something to keep in the back of your mind about these things that can come up. We see, all right, let's see. Lee, 12-15-03, Jefferson, Lamar, Debo, and Etienne. So Debo Samuel, talked about him just a moment ago. He goes to Lee, 12-15-03. Crutches with McBride, Adams, Diggs, and Wandale. So interesting stuff there. We're coming up on the clock. What do we want to do? Tubins is up. Tubins is not going to give me Loveland. Tubins won't give me Loveland. Tubins is very unkind drafter. So what are we going to take when Loveland goes? I don't mind Juwan Jennings. I think that's kind of fun. Let's see what he does. Actually, Tubins is a nice person. I'm just kidding. But drafting is ruthless. He takes Addison. We just take Loveland, right? I know I have Monungai, but if we're gonna pick on the Giants, let's just do that. I think that seems good. All right, so we'll do Colston, Loveland at tight end. We'll pick on the G-men ever so slightly. And then what do we want to do? Cutler needs he's going to have to take at least one receiver this round. So he takes Slayton. I like Slayton quite a bit, actually, this week. And DJ Moore. So Juwan Jennings is still like staring us in the face. Not a ton of great additional options. I don't mind unstacked Darnold. But I think I'm going to pass on that this time. Travion Henderson would have been here, so that just, again, I don't fully understand that. I'll take the Juwan Jennings shout, though, and then we'll just figure out quarterback. The JSN drafter, is definitely live to just take Darnold. The thing I like about unstacked Darnold is you can't pair him with Shaheed because Shaheed's not going to be on this slate. So if Shaheed nukes and Darnold goes with him, like you can have Darnold and not like need to pair you can take unstacked pocket passers anyway. But I think with somebody who could really go off not even being available, I don't know. It adds an extra element of being draftable, if I'm making sense. Because you're not worried about the Darnold Shaheed teams. Like you're now only worried about the Darnold JSN teams. And if Darnold spreads the ball out or Shaheed has 2 touchdowns, again, you're not going to lose to that. Yeah, I'm sure there was a better way to say that. This is a great time to remind you, please like and subscribe so I can take some streaming lessons here. But yeah, no, appreciate all of you hanging out. These are fun drafts. We'll go over everyone's team at the end. We see Travion go to Mr. Worth. Again, I'm pounding the table on this being a good pick, and I'm going to look stupid if Ramondre plays, but I'm willing to take that risk on Wednesday morning before we know. All right, let's see. I missed something up. Chris says, why didn't the Giants trade their third string QB? Jameis could have brought some value. We talked about this yesterday, and this is one of the things that Brian mentioned is that they really just like him there. I think they like the vibe. Like, I don't know. I mean, they are, having 3 quarterbacks who would arguably start for a couple teams in this league, like, seems odd. Like, typically just having Russ as a backup is enough. It's a little strange to carry 3 quarterbacks of the caliber that they have. I mean, Jameis is not amazing, or he'd be starting somewhere in the league, right? But yeah, I don't know. I think they kind of just like what do they even get for Jameis at this point? And who's trading? That's the other thing is teams we like Jameis as fantasy managers, but I think a lot of coaching staffs are just like, he's not worth the just throw us out of the game risk that he has. And, also if you bring in Jameis as another team, he's like a fan favorite. So now you're just going to create a permanent quarterback controversy. Like you can't just have Jameis be a backup somewhere that like has a fringy quarterback. I don't know. So I'm not surprised he didn't move. Joel says, didn't want to force Kincaid, but tight end falls off a cliff. Yeah. No, I see nothing wrong with that at all. He was not going to come back to you. I would have taken Kincaid over. Oh, no, you had another pick. But yeah, he might not have come to you. I mean, Len Keith took Laporta, and I think most people would have Kincaid. No, Laporta is ahead of Kincaid. But look, I think it's a fine pick. I think that's a fine pick. Gunnar Ross says, my eliminator team will be happy to have him back. Sorry, who were we talking about coming back? I missed that, Gunnar Ross. Mike Robb, based on how Fields talked after the game, if they bench him, they have to stay with it. No small packages because his mindset would not be good. You have to move on. Yeah, I would think so too, but you just never know. Coaches just do dumb things. And Aaron Glenn seems like the dumbest of the dumb coaches. Like he just doesn't know what he's doing, it seems. Brian says, people are saying I influence, but yeah, I agree. I agree there. Oh yeah, Gunnar Ross, Garrett Wilson. Yeah. I need him too. He's one of my highest owned players and everything. I am one of the people, Brian. I think he's in here. Nah, Tubes is a bad guy. He didn't round up to the next dollar for the St. Jude's kids with his last time. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I always round up for the Ronald McDonald House. I feel like you have to. I mean, I volunteered there before. My God, I can give 49 cents to help these families who are going through that. Yeah, I'm with you, Ramsey. Chris, I get my haircut and you answered my Wednesday question on Tuesday. The luck. I didn't mean to do. I like to say like, oh, we talk about a lot of different subjects here. We talk about many different things. All right, JJ McCarthy is a little bit intriguing because he has a little bit of rushing upside. Same with Marcus Mariota. But I think, we talked about Justin Fields. We absolutely could do Fields, Garrett Wilson. I think that makes sense. But let's see what Tubins does. He takes Mariota, so he leaves us a very difficult question. Do we do Broccoli Purdy or do we do Fields? I think because we have Juwan Jennings, I'm going to do Brock Purdy. If Purdy somehow is out, we could probably Q-tag into Fields if Fields is in. So let's do that. Let's do Purdy against the Rams. I think Purdy is going to be back, but at least this way we have a little bit of a stack that might be less popular. Purdy's not 100% owned. And again, I know I have a few Fields teams already. So this was a pretty cool draft. I like the way our team ended up. Let's see. Oops. Sup? Hey, Whohames, appreciate you so much. Whohames does an awesome show with Steve from Fanspeak. They go over every single game. They are two true ball knowers. I would absolutely recommend watching that. That's over on Whohames' channel. If you don't sub to Whohames, please do so, because he is one of the good ones. And again, his show with Steve, very, very in-depth breakdown of all the games. All right, let's see what the best and brightest did. Starting with myself, obviously, James Cook, Kyle Monangai, Garrett Wilson, Colston Loveland, Juwan Jennings, Brock Purdy. So you can get this Jennings Purdy stack a lot of the time in the 5th, 6th round. I like it. Opinions may vary, but I think a healthy Purdy with Jennings is kind of fun. They're getting all their weapons back. Kittle will be better with Purdy. Jennings has had nuke games with Purdy. I think this is kind of fun. We'll see if Ricky Pearsall's back. It sounds like he might miss again this week, but he could also be back. It could, again, this could be a good spot for Purdy. They might get pushed by the Rams as well. So again, assuming Purdy's back, don't mind this. Again, big decision between him and Fields. I see good people on both sides of that argument. Cutler goes CMC, Dart, Tracy, Slayton, Moore, and Otten. So really, he builds out this Giants Bears bet. Dart, Tracy, Slayton versus DJ Moore. I think that's kind of a fun four-player pairing. You're not going to see Dart with Tracy all that much. Their ADPs don't align, I don't think. Plus, people don't see the correlation between Dart and Tracy that clearly. But there is a script where Tracy, has a receiving touchdown or two, and this totally works. So I like what Cutler did here. Cade Otton, not my favorite click, but he's going to be about 2% owned. I don't think people are taking Cade Otton, and if they are, they're probably the Baker team. So again, pick your favorite late round tight end. I'm not going to criticize whoever you take. I'll just say he has not been on my radar. But again, when you see good drafters do things, you should start opening your mind. Tubins, what'd he do? Gibbs, Odunze, Waddle, Addison, Ertz, Mariota. I like the Mariota click as a late round guy. And again, Ertz, Mariota, kind of a fun late tight end quarterback stack that you can get here. Two players that won't be owned in every single draft. Ertz will be in most, but not all draft. Patrick Barnes, YouTube. A-Chain, Kittle, Ken Walker, Jameson Williams, Jared Goff, and Jerry Jeudy there. Yeah, I like this team. Certainly some positive regression possible for Jeudy. Sauce Gardner's gone in New York. So if you look at some of the DVP stuff, it's going to look worse than it actually is. So yeah, I don't mind Jeudy as a last round click. Again, I've said before, this is not a Jerry Jeudy channel, but I'm not going to criticize him as a 6th round pick there. Brian notes, watching on delay, so behind a bit, Giants have indicated they were more likely to move Russ instead of Jameis. That probably makes sense. You probably could get more for Russ anyway and just leave Jameis and his good vibes on the team. Chris said Pearsall got there in week 17 last year, but man, hard to justify a draft price on it. Yeah, it has been a tough season for the Pearsall drafters. I hope he gets there later on this year, though. All right, Gunnar Ross, what do you do? JSN, Flowers, Breece Hall, David Montgomery, Sam Darnold, and Juwan Johnson. Yeah, I mean, mentioned before, I think Juwan Johnson could sneakily be the biggest beneficiary of the Shaheed departure. That might be a hot take. Olave is the obvious answer. But for me, I think sneakily it could be Juwan Johnson. All right, Mr. Worth, what'd you do? Amon-Ra, Allen, Kincaid, Tet McMillan, Hendo, and Tootin. Yeah, I think that's fine. Would have loved to see Tootin take more of the backfield last week, but, big time home run hitter. Again, a guy that can get there on limited touches, filling, who's going to come in at very low ownership. Can't say too much bad about that there. Go AZ Cards. Henry, Igbuka, Swift, Baker, Parker, Washington, and the Fannin bet. Yep. Think this is a perfectly good team. Like the Igbuka Mayfield team. I think a lot of people are going to write off Parker Washington with the Meyers addition. I don't necessarily think that's right for week one. I think Parker Washington's still a very live click here. Like the Fannin bet. I've said I'm taking Monangai over Swift, but if Swift is back and healthy, I think this is a perfectly fine place to take him in drafts. Crutches goes McBride, Adams, Diggs, Wandale, Aaron Jones, and Matt Stafford. So Aaron Jones hurt his shoulder. It sounds like it could be minor. He could be in. Aaron Jones looked a lot better than Mason did in that game. So I think a healthy Aaron Jones, this does make a lot of sense. I thought he might be taking Brissett with McBride, but Stafford with Devontae makes more sense. So like that stack there. And then what did Lee 12-1503 do? Jefferson, Jackson, Debo, Etienne, Kamara, and Mark Andrews. Yeah, I mean, if you want a real dark horse of who could be the beneficiary of this Shaheed departure, it could be Kamara. Shaheed was Shuck's favorite target. I don't think Kamara got involved at all in the passing game, but maybe with a full week of practice, maybe they do a little more to get Kamara involved. That game was kind of got out of hand quickly. So I wonder if some of the Neal getting more run was more game script than how they actually want to break it down. But again, you have a big hole in potential targets. We've been waiting to see Kamara get targeted. Hopefully that's something they bring together, but I don't mind Alvin Kamara at pick 60 at all this week. And then Mark Andrews with Lamar Jackson. I mean, what else can you say? So yeah, fun team. Fun teams. Really appreciate all of you drafting this dog bowl with me. I'll hop in a Wildcat, and then we'll see where we're at. If anyone wants to hop in the Wildcat, we are now waiting for 4. All right. Wildcat 2. So maybe we'll do this. We'll try to do another dog bowl, and then we'll see where we're at. Hey, Sup Pup says Pepper Tony. Appreciate you, Pepper Tony. Thanks so much for coming in, hanging out. As always, everyone, if you can, like and sub. It helps so much. I won't hold you all over a barrel for likes for doing more drafts, but if you just hit the like. You just hit the like, it helps a ton. All right, we got Mike Robb in here. We got Mr. Worth in here. We got Mr. Vinegar in here. So a true friends and family room. I got the 1 again, and I will take CMC here. Smooth Criminal. Hey, GM to you. Appreciate you so much for joining us today. Go AZ Cars. My best ball bag actually want Judy to do something. Yeah, I don't have much Judy in best. I have him a little. I actually think he's in one of my high stakes teams on DK, so I have more Judy than I think. But I was not big on Judy. The other thing, I didn't mention this before, Tillman's practice window's open. I don't know what his status will be. When people have these long-term injuries, typically when they open the practice window, they're not back that first week, but just something to keep an eye on in Cleveland there. Not like they have any quarterback that can throw the ball to a wide receiver, but just something. Speaking of guys that we need help in big board, Chris says, not to brag, but I have a team in 672nd, 1,230 How do you say end when the number's that big? I know how to say the number. I can do that, but I don't know how to add the end at the end. Anyway, yeah, that's all. That's great, Chris. That is fantastic there. Gunnar Ross at 295 today. There we go. The road to 300. The road to 300 rolls on. Hopefully we get there. Hopefully we get there soon. Mike says, like the man's stream or else. Yeah, we have no recourse. If people don't like it, there's nothing we can do. We just have to hope that they do. So Mike agrees. He takes James Cook at the 2. He also takes James Cook at the 2. We got one no badger, Bab, in there taking JSN, and Mr. Worth takes Gibbs at the 4. Off we go. First time I've heard Chad give shade. How do you say a number that big? I'm just impressed. Yeah, as Chris says, only 440 from rolling the nut low. Started Neighbors, BTJ, Mike Evans. QBs are Purdy and Daniels. Whoa. Yeah, that'll do it. To me, that is the biggest thing of the Jaden Daniels injury. Is there are a lot of 2 QB teams who had Jaden Daniels as one of the 2. So you're if the other quarterback is not healthy, like if you're like, I'll do double elite Burrow, Jaden Daniels, you're getting no points. Your team's deader than dead. But also you're going to run into quarterbacks with bye weeks, so you're going to be eating zeros at the QB position, which is like very bad. And yeah, it is tough. Brian saves the day. 672,232nd place. That's it. The accountant in me needed to say it. Yeah, thank you, Chris. I needed a rescue. All right, I'll do Trey McBride. There. And sure, why don't we take Derrick Henry? I don't want to fade Derrick Henry. That seems dumb. That seems bad. In a dome, the Ravens need to keep on winning. I'll do that. Ramsey logged into another email for the Hey, Ramsey, appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for doing that. It really does help. We're trying to get those sub numbers up and rolling. I believe the layman's term may be DFL. Well, Chris notes where he's 440 away from DFL. We don't want to have stolen valor here. We don't want to have stolen valor on the channel for who is the true DFL team. All right, let's see. All right, so we took McBride and Henry. Mike took Cook, Jefferson, and Igbuka. J-Dubs, Gibbs, A-Chain, and Nico Collins. And JT Vinegar with Dowdle, Lamar, and Kyron. All right. So this is going to be 2 later receivers and a late quarterback. Right now, the only obvious quarterback for us is Jacoby Brissett. I have kind of a galaxy-brained idea. Maybe we'll consider here. Jackson Dart Odunze, and then ending the team with like Slayton. I don't know if that's as creative as people are gonna think it is. I think that's kind of going to be semi-obvious. That said, I think it's kind of good. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do Dart and Odunze, and then take one of Wandale or Slayton. I think this is a very paint by numbers team, but I don't hate having a team like this in the portfolio. I do like this Giants Bears game. I think I could have also just taken Caleb here, and then Caleb Odunze, and then a bring back if I want to stack the game. I think you could build the same team and do that. I think that's going to be perfectly fine as well. Again, not super creative. I don't think it'll be super doopy, but it's not going to be like the most rare combo. I almost think doing this with Caleb might be slightly better because Dart is going to be near 100% ownership. Caleb will be slightly lower. Also you could arguably do this with like Caleb and Loveland if you want. I'd already taken McBride, so that didn't make any sense there. But that's kind of where I'm at there. Brian says, I have a team in 800th place with Purdy and A-Rich. Wow. That's a good place to be, because if you get Purdy, I think Purdy's back this week. Yeah, Purdy's missed a lot of time. He was one of the, I think I'm over the field on Purdy and Kittle. So, yeah, that is not a bad place to be with. Obviously, A-Rich, I think, is pretty much a zero barring injury, but Does it just me or does Nico feel terrible with Davis Mills? Don't want to have 0, but feels like a wasted pick. I did not want to criticize the Nico pick, but I'm not going to be taking much of him. I don't think Davis Mills is very good. I think it's a huge drop off. He failed my eye test watching him. He wasn't good last year, but I agree. But like, I don't know. I don't want to get to 0 sometimes has cost me, where I'm just like, feel like I'm just wasting drafts. If I don't like the play, I think I'm in the if he beats me camp with Nico Collins this week. I could see myself with absolutely none of him. I think that would be fine. The other thing I could do is that I don't necessarily have to do a bring back, but I'll do Slayton here. I'll do Slayton over Wandale. Brian's probably going to tell me I picked wrong. Brian being the Giants expert, but I like Slayton. He was getting red zone targets. Didn't haul one in. He's definitely their deep threat. I think you could do the same thing with Wandale, but I think Slayton will be even lower owned, and maybe this is our scroll taking Slayton. So this team is Dart, CMC, Henry, Odunze, Slayton, and Trey McBride. Mike, he ended his team with Flowers, Baker, and Henry, so he builds the Baker, Igbuka stack. Mr. Worth, he ends up going Drake May, Diggs, so builds an instant stack at the 4-5 and adds Fannin. And JT Vinegar, he adds on Laporta, Marvin Harrison, and Juwan Jennings. So he leaves Lamar Jackson unstacked. I think that's more than okay. Takes Juwan Jennings, who we took over in the Dog Bowl, who I like this week. What's his ADP? I don't think he's drafted very often. Juwan Jennings' ADP is 35.7. So yeah, he's very seldom drafted. MHJ is very low owned too. He's another guy I like in the 6 persons who's not getting drafted every time. All right, we got it, Brian. I like Slayton over Wandale this week. Bears are prone to giving up explosive downfield passing plays. Don't watch the game though, because he'll inevitably have a bad drop or two. Yeah, he will, because he's a guy that I take in like showdown every time. If the Giants are on a showdown slate, I take break the Slayton. And it doesn't always break the Slayton, but when it does, man, it's cool. So all right, I'm glad I chose one that you agreed with there. All right, let's see what the DVQ's at. Waiting for one. All right. We will hop into this. Oops. All right, what are we at? So I will probably do this and then hop, because I've got some stuff I got to do today. But appreciate y'all so much for doing these, for hanging out. If you can, hit the like, hit the sub. Anything helps. Leave a comment after. You can say your favorite scroll. That's always a fun comment. But you could just say hello. All of it helps the algo, helps get the word out, and helps keep keep doing these drafts with you, because it is so much fun to do these in the morning. We're at the 8, so I will not be able to take James Cook. No James Cook for me. So let's see. We've got Crutches at the 2, Patrick Barnes at the 3, Casey Pollock, who, gosh, I always forget their actual name there, Josta 29, who qualified 2 or 3 weeks ago, Tubins at the 7, and then 2 No Badgers. Rare to see 2 No Badgers hanging out in the Dog Bowl streets, but we'll see. You can't always discount that, but sometimes No Badgers can do weird stuff. So we'll see what we can see here. All right, Hartman says, GM tardy but not absent. All right. Well, that's okay. Everyone, you get 2 unexcused tardies per semester. I'll have to jot that one down there. Jasta says, GM Chad, first DBQ of the week. Good luck, Jasta. Good luck. It is a very interesting slate here. It is not easy, but it is definitely fun. I will say for this slate, there have been weeks where the last round feels gross. I feel like this round, the last pick, there is not that bad. Like, it feels slightly deeper than maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago did to me. It's not like there's a million options, but there's usually someone you can squint and say, okay, I see the vision here. Oh, brutal run out, Josta, on the stomach bug. I hope you're feeling okay. My kid has done me the solid of only giving me like respiratory problems, not that. But yeah, feel better. I hope you and the family are doing okay. King Schuster, GM, good morning, big. Hey, King Schuster, good morning to you. Appreciate you so much. Thanks for coming in and hanging out. Brian says Detroit is set to blow up this week coming off a loss. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they use it as a get-right game. Yeah, I could see that too. I thought they were going to not get cute in the Vikings game, and they didn't. I mean, they lost, but I don't think it was because they were trying to like do weird stuff. And on that note, I'll just take Amon-Ra. I'll credit Brian. If this was a good pick, I'll credit you. I was going to take him anyway, but if it's a bad pick, I'll be like, oh, I can't believe Brian talked me into Amon-Ra. But no, I don't think they were trying to do like trickery. I don't think they were trying to force like JMO the ball or do anything odd. I think they just like had a tough divisional game. I could see this Washington game being a little more fun. Well, I'll put it that way for Detroit. I could certainly see that. Dark Ship at the 1 qualified last year. Big Underdog baseball guy and fellow brew. Oh, nice. The name was familiar. All right, so let's not omit Dark Ship. Dark Ship, if you're out there. Dark Sheep. Not ship. Sheep. Dark Sheep with the leet speak out there at the 1. All right, we'll keep an eye on him too. Chris says, I'd like BBMDB to add one feature. I'd like to be able to flip the rankings. I'd like to look at the worst teams. Yeah. It is fun to look at your own teams and see the ones at the depth. It's usually the culprit for me, has been like quarterback, has been like Purdy, like 2 QB Purdy teams have been bad. Like I have a lot of Purdy Kittle teams that have sunk like a stone that could already be dead. JJM can't keep getting away with this. He throws for like 150 and wins. The old Ben Roethlisberger plan. It'll get you. It'll get you. Just if you watched the Bash last week, Sheep was. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's part of stacking dingers, which is really good. Oh, awesome. Well, good stuff there. I apologize for not knowing that. I don't lurk in the baseball streets, so I was unfamiliar with his game. We got Amon-Ra though. What do we want to do? I would have loved Igbuka. I feel like there's a tier break at receiver right there. Bucky, I don't think Bucky's playing this week. I'll do Judkins. We'll pick on this. We'll pick on this floundering Jets team here. I think that's fine. We'll do Judkins. Amon-Ra. That seems kind of fun here as a start. Again, we're on the right side of the board, so hopefully end up with a little bit of a different texture than the last team. Don't see anything too unusual, especially from our no Badgers. Lamar McBride, I think that is more than okay. I mean, you could literally have the number 1 QB and the number 1 tight end on the team. That seems like a good way to start, especially if there's late round running backs you like. We see Jefferson Allen here. Wonder if they would have gone Jefferson Lamar. I have to think they would have, being that they took an elite quarterback. They probably would have taken the game stack, but they don't get that chance there. And off we go. Manungai at pick 19. So Josta 29, definitely making his bet in the Manungai Swift wars that continue to rage. Brian says, I could see Amon-Ra and Laporta with Goff getting there this week, and ADP doesn't line up for that to be frequent combo. Yep. Yeah, I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. I mean, Laporta is, to me, the tier break at tight end. So I could certainly see getting there. And double stacks are live in these dog bowls. So not bad. What is Amon-Ra or Laporta's ADP? It's 28. Yeah. So you would have to get lucky here. If you get Amon-Ra at ADP, you'd have to get slightly lucky for him to fall, or you have to take Amon-Ra at the front of the board around pick 4 to 5, and then hope you don't get sniped. Because it's annoying if you go in with the plan of, I'm going to get Amon-Ra and Laporta, and then like Laporta goes at pick 27. Then that feels not great. But yeah, certainly a double stack that might not work out just because ADPs are so can be so rigid in these drafts. King Schuster, I'm ready to see my eliminator matchup. Oh, yeah, my eliminator matchup is gone. Is gone. We are eliminated. I had to remove it from the advanced rate tracker, but we are out. We got eliminated last week. Mr. Brad, did you see there's a BBM team with Bijan, BTJ, and Puka? Kind of sus since they were all first. I did not see that. That must have been during the Pico top of the Stafford is in a cryogenic chamber FUD, because there were some weird drafts where Puka would fall, and he must have fallen to the early third in that draft. I could see it happening because we did see Puka slip into the mid-second in some drafts, so all it takes is like a bunch of panicins and not getting there. Chris says if you have a massive cluster, yep, that's you're just gonna get some dead teams. All right, so Laporta goes at 28. The dream dies. The dream dies of the Amon-Ra Puka stuff. Let's see what the room's giving to us though. Swift, not big on Monty. I just don't like it. It's like you're paying for half a backfield. Can get there. Yeah, I just, maybe that's a leak. I just can't do it. I can't do it, folks. I'm sorry. So I'm sorry to let you down if you all wanted to see that. But I like Garrett Wilson. Josta takes another guy I'm pretty into. Wilson, Diggs. Man. I think for me it's just Olave. I think I'll just take the again, I've mentioned I like playing this through Juwan Johnson a lot, especially because he's free. But I think for me, Olave's a little bit of a tier-ish break. Maybe I should have taken Debo. I think if I thought a half a second longer, I would have taken Debo against Amon-Ra. I should have put Debo in my queue before because I think that's what I would have done. So I'm a little annoyed with myself because I think that's kind of a fun game stack, and you can play it through Goff or Mariota. So I kind of like that one back, but you never know. Olave could also just end up with like 15 targets again. So it's tough to beat yourself up too much because sometimes it's not wrong, it's just different. And now we're just in a different sort of iteration of it. But yeah. First of all, Crutches, thanks for coming in. I messed up. Should have been Debo. I am ashamed. I am ashamed here. But yeah, hey, Crutches, appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Means a lot. But yes, always Debo. King Schuster, does Purdy and Ayuk play this year? I took like no Ayuk, but it sounds like eventually. We'll see what we get out of him. King Schuster got 17th, 21st, and 64th in playoff baseball. Doing dog. Oh, congratulations. That's awesome. That is awesome. Good stuff there. Go AZ Cards. Don't know if you talked about it with the New York Fire selling. Their defense should be more on Cleveland players. Yeah, we talked about it more in the frame of Judkins and Judy. I like the Fannin bet as well. For me, it's Judkins. It's just the pass catchers are so hard to trust. I would have liked if Cleveland had moved Njoku. I think that would have like clarified it even more. Man, Montgomery's coming back again. Debo's coming back again, possibly. Len Keith, can you give me redemption? Can we get redemption? I really prefer two running back, but we'll see. I don't know if I can pass Debo again. All right. The redeem team. We'll do Debo. We'll do it. We'll take Debo. We'll do a 3 wide receiver team. So, as Crutches says, always Debo. We're back. We're back. Ramsey, I got Goff, Amon-Ra, Laporta Monday in a hurry up. Oh, not bad. Yeah, the hurry up is, shoot, I'm sorry, off the top, I can't remember which tournament the hurry up is. I get all the side contest names mixed up, but yeah, nothing wrong with the mega game stack there. Shanny, such a scammer. Yep. That's why we love him. Because if you pick the right piece that gets the Shanahan scam work, you're halfway home. Jordan, if you had to pick Purdy to play either or not at all. I'm a little confused what you mean, Jordan. I think Purdy's going to play this week. And I'm like drafting him as such. So I hope he I hope he plays. I hope he plays. And I also have a ton of him in like BVM, so I kind of need him to be in. Oh, let me pull the board up so people can see who folks are taking here. So for us, we've got Amon-Ra, Judkins, Olave, and Debo. So we'll see how we land the proverbial airplane here. I'll go over everyone's team at the end, just because again we have so many teams to review that it'll be a little hectic to do that. We need a tight end and a quarterback to end the team on. No spoilers, but everybody to my right has a quarterback, so we'll be taking a tight end first. Just for anyone doing these drafts, none of these people can take a tight end, so that's why we'll do that. Something to keep an eye on, because if I take a quarterback and then the tight end that I want goes, I will feel like an idiot. So let's not let that happen. I think I have concepts of a plan here of what I want to do. We'll see what the room gives to us. Patrick Barnes undermines us a little bit by taking Goff. That takes away one of our QB outs between Goff and Mariota. Would be slightly surprised to see Mariota go here, but you never know. He does have some rushing upside. The game does, I think it has a fairly high total. We'll see. We will see. I really like Loveland at pick 49. That feels like kind of a steal. The No Badger, just checking in on them. They didn't do anything odd. I think they built reasonable enough teams. I am sure that Len Keith would have liked Baker, but the No Badger did take Baker unstacked at 39. You can end a team with like Tez or Chris Godwin. You do see that if this, Godwin, you'll be playing the Q-Tag game. He's a last round freebie that I've seen clicked a little bit. So we will see. We will see. Go AZ Cards. What last round QBs are you comfy clicking? For me, Purdy is my comfy click that goes undrafted. My uncomfy click is Fields. Fields, you must have courage and conviction to take there. So he's a little bit tough. Other than that, I don't mind taking the punt on JJ McCarthy. I think JJ McCarthy is a perfectly fine last round click. He has a little bit of rushing upside himself. All right, let's see what Tubins does. The tight ends are here. Please don't take what I want to do, Tubins. All right, he takes Juwan Johnson. That's fine. I really like Juwan Johnson, but we're going to take Ertz. And then let me make sure Mariota is still here. So we're going to end the team with a Commanders double. I think that's kind of fun. So we'll take Ertz. We will play this game to kind of shoot out a little bit. We'll take Ertz, Debo, and Mariota. I think this is I kind of like this team. I think this ended up coming out well. We got bailed out by Debo coming back to us a little bit. Again, I generally prefer the two running back teams, but I think this Mariota double has a little bit of life to it. Let's see. Oh, Brian, don't worry. They'll take a 2 tight end team and ruin your DBQ seat. Yeah. Brian drafted a team on stream here when I was streaming, and we talked about it when it happened. Somebody took 2 tight ends. They took Loveland after Brian had taken Caleb, and the person took a second tight end for like no reason. And had Brian gotten Caleb, who he would have won a C last week. So absolutely brutal run out for Brian because somebody had to like make a 2 tight end team. Just no reason for that. Chris says Tyler Shuck season. I don't think that's how you spell it, but I don't think I'm going to be taking Tyler Shuck on this team. Just like to see it a little bit more. Crutches says Kincaid projects way higher, but I am a projection slut. I have been taking Kincaid for that very reason. Like, picking on the Dolphins can't be wrong. And Kincaid's annoying, just like not playing a full-time player, but when he's out there, he's been really good. And so I am into that. I mean, I'm old enough to remember being scared of Spencer Hawes, or is it Jackson Hawes? Some guy named Hawes. Anyway, don't worry about him. Kincaid's a good pick this week. King Schuster shocked the Chiefs won't give a third for Brady. Yeah, it feels like if you're willing to give a fourth, but you draw the line at a third. I don't know. It feels a little weird that's where you're just like, no, like we're not gonna do it. But I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm surprised if that's actually like how it shook out. The sheep seats. First of all, great name, the sheep seats. Appreciate you coming in. Dominoes because Len Keith took my Caleb. Oh, are you kill? Who's your username? I'm confused. Here, let me take Mariota so I don't hold up the draft here. All right, so we do get Mariota. We'll go over all the teams in a sec. Let me catch up with chat here. How many QB teams drafted in the first 3 rounds will you have exposure? How many QB teams? I'm not sure I fully understand the question. I'm not afraid of taking Jackson and Allen. I won't take Allen or Jackson in the first. I'll take them if they come to me in the second. And then in the 3rd round, I think I'll take a little dart in May. And then I'll try to push Caleb into the 4th. Although I think I might even have some 3rd round Caleb to pair with Odunze around the turn and the first 4 picks. If that's what you're asking. The sheep seats, first time catching the stream. What's up, Chad? Saw you were in the draft and thought to check if you were streaming. Oh, nice. Oh, you're dark. I'm an idiot. Gosh. See, you were inconsistent with how you spelled sheep, and my simple mind couldn't put it together, even though I said your name out loud. Hey, appreciate you. Yeah, apologies before. I didn't realize you were in the so deep in the MLB streets. I would love one day to get back into them. I am a big baseball fan at heart, but just life has taken enough free time away to where I can't devote it to baseball anymore. But awesome stuff. Hey, thanks so much for coming in and hanging out. And yeah, I was told you were on the Bash before as Clay Matthews, and so that was a really fun episode and very cool stuff. Appreciate you coming by and hanging out. Go Easy Cards. And Brian, they knew ball and took the highest scoring player left on the board. So Len Keith took your Caleb. Okay, yeah, it's tough for Caleb to get all the way back to 48 to the 1. I'm trying to think of how I've got my Caleb, and now that sounds right. I probably did get him in the 4th. I don't think I ever took him at the 3. I think when I was trying to pair Caleb, it was Caleb Loveland stacks over here. That's what I'm thinking of when I did the 2 players over at the turn there. Who Ames asks, what's your thought on the Dolphins rumored to keeping McDaniel? I don't think McDaniel's the problem. I think it's a Tua problem. I think it's a Tua and personnel issue myself. Why does Kellen Moore hate Kamara? I don't know. I don't know. Just throw him the ball. That's what he's good at. Just dump it off. The sheep's not sure. Yeah, the YouTube's been weird about the display name. I should have put 2 and 2 together. That was on me there. When is the Dog Bowl finals, and have you done research yet? It's week 14. Very, very preliminary. Balancing the planning ahead versus getting take lock. Sometimes I have a tendency to lock stuff in more than I should. I will say the one time the other live final I went to was King of the Beach, and I did my research ahead, and I said I am going to jam this Titans Jags game. And then by the time the week came, nobody was on that game, and I was like, maybe I'm wrong, and that was the game you needed. It was the week that it was like T-Law went nuts. He ran some in. It was Calvin Ridley as the bring back. It was like my first instinct was that's the game, and then by the end I didn't do it. So I'm like, I should have listened to my first instinct. I could have shipped because I think there was 2 teams in the whole contest that stacked that game. It was literally what you needed, and they won by 30. Lee says, GM, just catching up. Don't read too much into my last 2 picks in the dog ball draft. AK Andrews school drop did not go as planned. Oh, I know about that. Those drop-offs gone awry. Well, don't worry. I don't think we criticize too much, but yeah, when you do stuff, we pay attention. So you definitely could throw us off the scent. And if you can blame the little ones, even better. But appreciate you coming in, hanging out. Means a ton. Thanks for hopping by here. Go Easy Cards. And DBQs, are you punting QBs later? Probably more focused on the stacks. And if I punt, Crutches gets Darnold at pick 71. Like, I'm fine taking Darnold even if you don't have JSN. Like, you can punt quarterback this week. Last week you couldn't. Last week quarterback was gone by the 4th round, or was it the week before? This week I think you can punt QB. You can punt QB because you can take unstacked Purdy. I think you can take unstacked Stafford or Darnold. Like, these guys are going to project for a ton of points, and all it takes is them not to, like, you to need the one guy. So I'm in on that. And Tubin takes my Purdy. Oh no! All right, let me go over some teams. I was trying to catch up with chat here. Justice says baseball is where it's at. First time doing this, and different projections makes it fun. Yeah, I only did 2 regular season best ball teams, and they both made it to the playoffs, and then they got eliminated. But it was fun. I was 2 for 2. I watched one show with Davis, and I just took the sleepers, and they actually were pretty good. And then it died. Week 14, no Mayer CMC. Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, for me, it was no Scatavo before, but RIP. The Giants are off as well that week. You get 3 teams, right? Just take one that's fully locked, and the other 2 play them. Yeah. I haven't decided how I want to allocate it, but I definitely think I've got to at least do one of like my terrible takes. Darnold got even better naked since Shaheed. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Crutches. And we had talked about that because you don't have to worry about being buried by a Shaheed stacking partner. So I agree. I really think Darnold unstacked is nice. And again, if it's Shaheed, I mean, I'm not trying to pick on your team, but if Shaheed goes off, you'll bury the JSN Darnold teams, right? Which is going to be, I think you're going to see Darnold with JSN more often than not, or I don't know what the percentages will be, but I'm sure that most Darnold teams, or a lot of them, will have JSN, and so you can box out even the other Darnold teams too if it goes that way. The sheep seats, they're talking to Hartman. A lot depends on which draft spots you get. Can't always plan. Yeah, I'm sure I'll have a plan, and then I'll get like the 8-hole and then the 9-hole twice or something. And then it's like, well, there we go. All right, so let's look at what people did. Let's start from the left. We've got our friend Dark Sheep here. He goes CMC, Waddle, Odunze, Jennings, Loveland, and Brissett. So yeah, mentioning he got sniped on Purdy, which is annoying after getting Caleb going to the Swift drafter over here. Yeah. Interesting taking Brissett there. I have found myself just taking the plunge on Fields, but if Fields doesn't play, that's bad. But Brissett's also kind of nice because he should come in at lower ownership, and he's going to be paired just a ton with McBride. So I don't mind getting him here unstacked. Like the team, like all the players here. Crutches, JSN, Breece Hall, Zay Flowers, Etienne, Kincaid, and Darnold. So again, we see the projection king himself coming through, getting a nice value on Etienne here. Otherwise, the team makes a ton of sense. The Darnold JSN stack is fun. JSN at 2. I've been Cook at 2. Come hell or high water. It's going to be bad having no JSN, but we'll see. We'll see how we go this week. Josta 29. His first draft. What does he do? Puka, Manungai, Garrett Wilson, Monty, and then Theo Johnson, Matt Stafford. So it gets a Stafford Puka connection. All players I am in on, with the exception of Monty, but I understand those who do. Tubin's going A-Chain, Bucky, Diggs, McBride, and then Juwan Johnson and Brock Purdy. So Tubin's ruining Dark Sheep there with the unstacked Purdy. I can't say I blame him. I kind of don't mind Purdy unstacked. He has so many weapons. You can take him unstacked. He also usually has a little bit of rushing upside. We'll see, though, if the toe limits him. Myself, Amon-Ra, Judkins, Olave, Debo, Ertz, Mariota. So going with the Debo, Ertz, Mariota stack as a bring back to Amon-Ra. I actually like how this team came out, considering it's a three wide receiver team. And I think that does it for people we know in here. So no, you do draft, but the draft spots are random. So you might just end up like, having a plan for certain players, and like the ADPs just never line up here. Crutches, I'm with you. Ideally top 4 running backs, but technically the top 3 wide receivers lap the field on projection. So I'm messing with that. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I do completely agree. I think JSN, Puka, and Amon-Ra, it's like a pretty hefty tier break, and probably even JSN and Puka, probably even another tier ahead of Amon-Ra in the kind of next clump. But Yeah, everybody, thanks so much for hanging out this morning. Appreciate it. Appreciate those of you who drafted here. If you can, drop a like, drop a sub. If you leave a comment, all the better. You can just say hello. You can say your favorite scroll, whatever you want to do. It all helps the algo. But otherwise, I will be back tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Same great time, same great channel. Pepper Tony says, hey, appreciate you, Pepper Tony. Likewise, Who Hames, I like Amon. Yeah, definitely could be Amon Ra week. I mean, he is so good and so consistent. Hey, Smooth Criminal, thanks so much for hanging out. All right, everyone, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.